Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, new subscribers. And thank you, subscribers, for following us, supporting us, and liking our videos. You can follow Chemistry on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. My name is Reverend Penelope Stewart. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the Angel Tarot cards. I've been reading the tarot cards for about 10 years. I started maybe about 3 or 4 years ago reading professionally. When I first started, I started out with the Raider Rider deck, which is the traditional older deck. Their energy is more raw and primitive and very intense. And what I noticed that it was kind of challenging for me to give divine guidance with that, with those cards, and maybe because I was new. And another thing, some of the images scared some of my clients because they didn't understand the images. Okay, but my tarot readings went to a whole new level when I got the Doreen Virtual Angel Tarot cards. I mean, my readings went to a brand new level. My divine guidance went to a brand new level. I love the imagery on here. She did a very good job of replicating the original tarot. She did a very good job. And I'm just going to go over the difference. She used the four elements, which the swords and pentacles and cups and the wands, they represent the four elements in nature. But in Doreen Virtue, she actually used the four elements in nature to represent the swords and the wands, the cups. She actually used the elements. Like, for example, in here, this is the Ten of Air. And instead of using swords to represent the air, she actually used the element air. Okay? Like I said, I love these cards. And instead of using wands, which wands represent fire in the original tarot, she uses the element fire. She actually used these elements. So I love that about these cards. Are very easy to read. I recommend them for beginners. If you're a beginner reader, please, consider getting these cards. They're very gentle. It's going to be easy for you to interpret. They're very accurate as well. And it's also got it has a little summary of each card, what each card means. So, they're just easier to read when you have that. They do sell some Rider decks like that with the little meaning up under it. They do have that. But, I love this. I love this deck. And here, instead of pentacles, she actually used earth to represent pentacles. I love these cards. And then instead of using cups, she uses water. And they basically, the meaning and stuff are basically the same. But here it's more counsel. She gives you more counsel and divine guidance here. The meaning it's more counseling. You can give more information to your clients, or you can get more information for yourself with these cards. Okay? And some people have to study the Raider deck for years and years and years in order to absorb that knowledge and be able to pass it on. With these cards, this is a big shortcut, and you actually start right off understanding these cards. You don't really have to study that much. Okay, so once you start using them, you get better and better and better. Your intuition grows. And then you'll start seeing flashes and images as you begin to read. I know I do. That's how it's been working for me. Most of her cards are the same. That instead of using the Hierophant, she uses Unity. But you see that image is still the same. You can tell that's the Hierophant because she's still using the same image. But instead she calls it Unity. So I like that. Instead of Temperance, she uses balance. which that makes sense, because when the temperance card comes up, that shows a need for balance. Okay? You need to balance that anger, get that anger in check. That's usually when temperance comes up, when those emotions are flaring up. Okay? And instead of the fool, she uses the ego, which is a great representation of the fool, is the ego. You know, and I love these images. Take a look at these images. And instead of the devil card, which was really frightening most of my clients, she uses release. And that's really what the devil card is telling us, to get out of that bondage, get out of that thinking that you're trapped in a situation. You always have options. You can just release and surrender that issue to God and go on. You know, and it also represents addiction as well. The devil card also represents addiction as well. But see, she doesn't use that. She uses release in there. You know, I love these cards. Again, if you're a beginner, great cards. And this card, instead of using judgment, she uses awakening. You know, and that's usually when we're being critical, or, you know, we're being judgmental, or, you know, judgment comes up too if you're having to go to court as well, or the justice card, that'll come up as well. But yeah, she uses the awakening instead of the judgment card. But you see, it's the same. It's the angel with the trumpet upside down. Okay, it's the same. Some of the images are still the same. They're slightly different. And I love what she did with the tower. Instead of it being the tower, she named it life experience. But you can still tell it's the tower, because the tower is right behind the angel. You see, you can barely see it. It's in the distance. Okay, she did a really good job. You still have the Empress card. You still have some of the original cards in here from the original deck. She left some of them the same. You still have the star, represents Virgo. Still, some of the images are still the same. You can look at the images and tell how they're related to the original deck that was created. Okay. She still has the Hermit. You know. You still have the World. Okay. The Lovers. You know, she didn't change many of the major arcana. She didn't change much. She changes some of the images that were, you know, concerning some of the clients or the person that you're reading for. The Moon is still in here. The Emperor, the Wheel, the High Priestess, the Magician, Strength, the Sun. Most of these cards are still in here. Like I said, not much has changed. She has the renewal card in here. I'm really having a, you know, I don't know what this cards represent. I don't know if it's just, you know, I don't know what this renewal card is. And maybe this is something that she made on her own. I have to look up later. But I've seen this come on when it's time to move on for something new, with a new start over. It could be the Hanged Man as well, because I didn't see the Hanged Man in there. So this could be the Hanged Man as well. I'm not sure. You know. But this, you know, the cards, these cards are really good. Easy to use. I do recommend them for beginners. They have made all the difference in my readings. Not that much different from the major arcana. Just as accurate. Easy to interpret. Easy to get those messages and pass them on, or to receive them. If any of you are interested in my services in a reading, the Angel Tarot, because I do other readings as well, and I'll come here and do reviews on those cards that I use for those readings as well. But if you're interested in these cards, I'll leave a link here. I think I got these cards from Amazon. What I don't like about the cards that's different, and I wish they would sell these in different sizes, because they're so bulky. So I have a hard time shuffling these. I really do. I wish she would make these in a smaller size, That's the only thing I don't like about these cards, because they're so big, and so it's so hard for me to shuffle and handle these. So I wish they came in a little smaller size. That's what I wish for these. But other than that, I'm really satisfied with the deck. I'm really, really satisfied. I own several decks of cards, several decks of Oracle cards and Tarot cards. But this is my favorite. This is the one that I use the most. I use this the most. If I'm doing a reading, these are the first cards that I'm going to use for a reading. But like I said, I'll come here and I'll come back and I'll do readings on the other cards. I mean, I'll do a review on the other cards that I do have and tell you a little bit about those readings and how to purchase those cards and how to use those cards. I'll leave a link here for these cards if you're interested in them. If you're interested in a reading, I'll leave a link where you can contact me on Facebook, because I usually work a lot from my Facebook page. And you can come there and you can schedule a reading with me. Okay? But I thank you so much for supporting us and following the channel. And I hope this video was very informational and educational and helpful for you. Light and love, may the ancestors be with you.